But hey, right now, Thom Albrecht, Chief Revenue Officer over at Reliance Partners. You heard Craig's call, Thom. What does that mean for your call on the market?
I can't hear you.
Anything? You can't hear me. You must have me muted.
I can't hear you. I can't hear.
Guys, they can't hear me. Is there some way we can...
There we go.
Oh, you got me now, Thom? Thom, you heard Craig's call. Super bullish on the freight market moving forward. Has this changed your projection? Has the election changed your projection?
Yeah, it has. So I was already a bit more bullish on 25. I've been very bearish really since probably January, February of 2022. And as I've gone around this year and presented to our customers, prospects, other groups, I had laid out two scenarios. So let's talk kind of pre-election first. One is that the market would have been around equilibrium by October or November. The second scenario was March of 25. I was telling audiences from May onward that my bet was on the March of 25. What the election does is it just about guarantees it will be no later than 25, and we'll be rocking and rolling from there. So I think we're already seeing online a lot of commentary about freight pull forward, and that's due to some of the uncertainties around tariffs. But in the short to intermediate term, there will be more freight. Whether the recession's over today or early 25, it doesn't really matter. It's in the process of dying if it hasn't already died.
Hey, I know at least one importer. He's my next guest on here that I'm going to bring up in just a couple of minutes. I know one importer who's thinking of buying and bringing his own manufacturing back. He's thinking of getting his own equipment. He announced it last night on Twitter. And the cool thing is right now, if he does it before, the Trump tariffs come in, I think it's like 0%. So, give China a little money now, but then you cut him off afterwards once these tariffs roll in. Did Trump or Harris, was that going to change one way or another how you thought about this? And now that we know it's Trump, how is your projection altered?
Well, I think from my perspective, and I want to be sensitive to all voters, but I think there was more of a pro-growth agenda with the guy that won the other day. Here's what's really interesting about Trump is he's going to use both a carrot and a stick. So the stick, of course, is the threat of tariffs. I think unlike past presidents where they would have some negotiation and then just slap a tariff, I think he really intends to engage companies, nations around what's fair. So that he's going to be really aggressive in trying to use that as a stick to get back over here. But the other side of the carrot, of course, is the lower potential corporate tax rate, which he ran on a rate of 15%, down from a federal tax rate of 21% for corporations. So, whether a company changes their mind or whatever because of the carrot, the lower tax rate, or the stick, tariffs, it's a fascinating dynamic here, and it's certainly going to lead to, again, more freight in 2025.
And with that threat of tariffs, how much of an impact do you think that pull forward is going to play? And do you agree with Craig's call? Is the freight recession dead?
I do agree whether it's dead today or, as I said earlier, it'll be dead no later than March of 2025. So we may be in this little bitty transition period, but it is definitively going to be over. And I think the tariffs will initially impact finished goods more, probably not as much impact on raw materials. It's going to be getting items over. Can't wait to hear the comments from your next guest, how they're thinking about things. But, why not bring some over? I think the question that a lot of companies are going to have to assess is, do they worry about bringing over too much? Will there be potential write-downs down the road? Because after all, the consumer has had pretty mediocre demand trends the last couple of years. But again, interest rates are in the process of being lowered. Inflation should continue to come down. We may see some fiscal stimulus as well for individual consumers. Not sure if Trump is going to merely seek to extend the tax cuts or actually bring them down again. So there's lots of exciting things that all bode well for freight creation.
Hey, Thom, you going to be at F3 in a couple of weeks?
I will be there. Can't wait. One of the best conferences every year.
It's going to be awesome. Well, we'll see you over there in Chattanooga. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for updating your market prognosis for us. And sounds like 2025 might be pretty good in this industry based on
It'll be a
what you
special
and
year.
Fuller have said.
Prepare to
so much.
thrive.
Thank you so much. Thrive and survive.